Hello and welcome to a new episode of Critical Coffee Considerations. This time, let's have a fun topic, politics. Everybody just loves to discuss it, although not at all times during the day. We just had elections here on Sunday. We got to vote 3 times in Belgium, once for the European level, then for the Belgium national level, and then for our own region level. So I don't know if you know a lot about politics in Belgium, but we actually have 6 governments. Basically, we have those regions, right? Here we're in Flanders, then there's the Walloon region, and then you also have the Brussels capital region. And next to those regions, we have also 3 communities. Because how do you form a community? Well, usually by the language that you're talking. So we have a Flemish, community. They speak Dutch, just not to get it too confused. We have a French community. They speak French, not Walloon, apparently. And then, of course, we have a small German community. What's missing, clearly, is the English community, for which I'm obviously a representative. But before we get into those kind of details, let me first talk about a different election, which was on the same day, Sunday, which was for Best Father of the Year. So here we clearly have at least one vote for favorite dad. I'm very happy to have received this, and see how she knows me, She gets the advertisements totally spot on. 212 coffees. Of course, that's 212coffees.be whenever you need some coffee. That's for my oldest one, and then my youngest one also had a very nice treat, which is a lot of messages which I could unpack every day during this week. So let's let's see which one that was here. This is Daddy, did you ever have an argument with a girl? I guess yes. I guess too many to mention, but never physical, of course. So that's how this goes. Let's maybe try another one. Let's see. Oh, this is just a star, and then a little heart. Let's have a blue one here. I find that you're always very positive. Well, thank you very much. That's very sweet of you. So there we go. That was the election of Best Dad. Now, I wanted to, of course, discuss the other election, which for some was quite traumatizing. For others, it was the best day of their life. I guess they still need to do all the work, but once people get elected, they do funny things. Now, before the election, I did do this kind of voting advice tests to make a more informed, rational decision. Although my whole life, I've basically always voted for the Green Party. Somehow, that's, I guess, just inside of me. Now, when I did the test this time, I got, so you get then basically a score, which you can see here, for all the different parties. So number 1 was the Green Party with 68%, so that still leaves 32% left to be desired, let's say. And then surprisingly, or not that much if you consider that I started my own business in April, the Liberal Party came in just 3% behind with 65%. At the other extreme, we have we first have the extreme right with only 35%. I guess it's positive that there's some overlap. You always want to find some common ground, even when you don't understand why people are so misguided in in their preference. Let's put it that way. And then the communists, I guess I feel already a little more comfortable, or I'm still failing them if we take 50% as kind of a minimum. And then shortly above being failed, I guess, is the party that in the Flemish region won the election, which is the NVA, which is a new Flemish alliance. So we have, in any case, we have two parties that are very Flemish in their perspective, that together are almost 50% of the votes, and I'm at the other side, I guess, having to combine green and blue feelings. So that's why I thought, well, what we need is a new political movement. And there's, I wouldn't vote communist, but one thing I did pick up was their national ambitions. That's something quite communist. They're always, they don't stop at borders. They just want to go everywhere. So it's a one party that's represented in both the Flemish, Walloon, and I guess German-speaking parts. But I do share that kind of Belgium sentiment. So I thought, what we need is another green and blue party. And that's why I call it Appel Turquoise. It's perfect because it combines blue and green. That's one thing. And also Appel Turquoise, it's both Dutch and French. It's a perfect combination. Of course, it's one thing to have a kind of a logo to represent your political movement and to have a national name. Although I guess it's, I don't know how it would be in German, but the small German community, German-speaking community that we have, I think they would still understand the name of the movement. So there you go. That's one thing, having a movement. Second thing is, of course, having a program. So what's important to me? Well, as I mentioned earlier, we have Dutch-speaking, French-speaking, German-speaking community in Belgium. But we do really have also an English-speaking community, or people that at least have it as a second language. So first program point would be having English as a national language everywhere in Belgium. Because now French is not a national language in Flanders, or the other way around. You have to speak Dutch or French. But what happens, people from the different parts, young people especially, when they now meet up, they speak English. I speak English to my Walloon compatriots, and I love them, and I love French, but I'm just, it's a very difficult language for me, and of course I do speak Italian, so that helps when I need to really express something, but to have a very smooth conversation, especially on science or other things, I tend to speak English, and that's because that's kind of our lingua franca then. So let's have that as a national language. Then second thing would be, as you know, there's the blue inside, there's I guess commercial objectives there. And what I've discovered recently is that there's a coffee discrimination going on, commercially speaking then. So in the Netherlands, the VAT on coffee is 9%. Here in Belgium, it's 21%. Is it a surprise that the Netherlands is ahead of us in following, third, fourth coffee waves, etc.? I don't think so. It doesn't help that coffee is taxated more here in Belgium. So, of course, I wouldn't propose this just for Belgium, but I would propose to go to 9% pan-European for fair trade, deforestation-free, lightly roasted coffee. Because why lightly roasted coffee? Because that's good for your health. You want to have health-promoting measures, and that will help the specialty coffee roasters that take quality and fairness at their core. And then as a third measure in this program, of course, I would follow the Italians in no cappuccinos or milk-based drinks after 11. Just as a recommendation, I guess it would not be very nice to just enforce that, because especially my wife also really likes to drink cappuccinos and lattes the whole day through, even in the evening. So there you go. We have here already a few points to put in the program for this new coffee-driven political movement, which at least for me would, joking aside, let's say, solve something. That having in Flanders a right-left party or a right-green party, the right-green party, is one that motivates people to really just take charge in dealing with all the global problems we also have with our climate changing. And nobody can deny it anymore, but apparently we like to put our heads in the sand. So there you go. This is just testing out the water. Do you feel there's a need for a right-green party, incorporating, maybe, activating more people to work, not necessarily for somebody else that exploits them? Well, of course, you don't want anybody to be exploited, actually, but you want kind of an environment that stimulates you to work in general and to feel comfortable in starting your own business, and businesses that help to get our community in the right direction and prepared for the future, having new innovative solutions to deal with the changes that are coming our way anyways, but also doing everything in a kind of sustainable fashion. So there's a lot of work ahead for us, for all of us, whether you consider yourself part of this movement or not. Any suggestions you have, I'm happy to read and comment in the comments. And I hope you enjoyed this small commentary on actual affairs. Hope to see you in a next episode.